What is up, YouTube? And welcome to the first EHQ video. In this channel, we're going to be discussing election news, politics, and everything in between. Upcoming in November, we actually have a Senate election for the midterms where Senate control is up for grabs. However, with the Senate map being the way it is, Republicans are actually likely to win the election. But let's go forth with my predictions and see what's going to occur in the future. So first off, we're going to start with the likely states where the candidates are likely going to win no matter what really occurs. These are very strong states that swing either left or right, and it kind of stays there. So first, starting up with the Republicans, really all of these states are just going to maintain their Oops, did not mean to do that. Mind y'all, this is my first video, so bear with me. So all of these states are typically just going to remain the same way it is that's been for multiple years. There's not really going to be any changes occurring. Typically, this party really dominates in these areas, so that's it for the Republicans. And going on the Democratic side, these states will be likely won by the Democratic Party. There really isn't going to be really challenge associated with that. Oh, I forgot Tennessee. Tennessee and Kentucky too. Tennessee and Kentucky are also very strongly Republican states, so those states are going to stay with the Republican Party. But anyways, so continuing with that, these blue shaded states are going to be the ones easily won by the Democratic Party. There isn't going to really be much of a challenge occurring in these states. And continuing on, so the remaining states that we have left on the screen are states that are more likely to be contentious, but still likely to swing in a certain way. So starting off with states like Texas, I'm gonna give it a likely rating for that one. Currently in that race, there's James Talarico, and recently Jasmine Crockett has actually entered the race for that Senate seat. So there is actually a very interesting primary race that's occurring in that state currently, but it's kind of difficult to see right now who's gonna win. Currently, Jasmine Crockett, with her announcement, is leading in the polls. So as of now, if the election were held today, it'd be likely that she were to win, but you never know. We still have multiple months away until the actual primary occurs in Texas. So currently, with that, assuming even with either James Talarico or Jasmine Crockett, we're gonna keep Texas the Republican. And moving on to Florida, in Florida, Florida has been trending right for most of the past, I think, three elections. It's been continue to be won by Trump and Republicans statewide. Democrats have been unlikely to win statewide within Florida. So it's likely that the state will continue to be Republican, but this race is likely to remain Republican. However, there is a large amount of Democrats in the state, so that's why I'm going to give it the likely margin and not the safe margin. But regardless, it is looking like Republicans are going to win in this race. And moving on to Alaska, I'm going to give Alaska the likely rating as well. Currently, Dan Sullivan is running for re-election for that seat. And actually, within that state, former Congresswoman, Democratic Congresswoman Mary Peltola is actually considering running in that election for that seat. And she's already won statewide. With Alaska having such a low population, their congressional district, their one singular congressional district, is a statewide race. So Mary Peltola has proven that she can win statewide in a statewide election in Alaska. So with her potentially entering the race, she hasn't entered the race yet, and we are unsure of whether or not she will enter the race. But considering if she does, moving on, if she does enter the race, I'm going to give it a likely margin. She would be able to make up some ground, but as of now, at this current day, it's unlikely that she would actually win the election, and Dan Sullivan will actually end up winning another term. And going on with the Democratic likely states, first off, I'm going to give Georgia likely for John Ossoff, the incumbent senator, to win. He's become very popular in the state, and moving on with that as well, Republicans have just become increasingly unpopular within the state of Georgia. Just recently, in November of 2025, Democrats have won statewide in 2 elections, and also won special elections, I believe, just recently as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Georgia is also a very Republican state, but it's been leaning Democrat for years following the 2020 election. So I'm gonna give Georgia likely for a Democrat to win. I think John Ossoff is gonna win another term. And going on for the next likely state for Democrats, I'm gonna rate Michigan as another likely state, kind of similar to the methodology for the Georgia Senate race. Republicans have become increasingly unpopular in the state of Michigan. Although Donald Trump won the state previously in the most recent presidential election, Democrats have been making ground in that state, and Republicans have also just been really unpopular within Michigan. So I'm going to leave that rating as a likely for the Democrats. And then moving on to, I think it's Tilt. Excuse me, this is my first video. Yeah, so I'm gonna give Ohio Tilt to, is this Tilt? Oh, that's Tilt. Oh, this is lean. Okay, I'm gonna give Ohio lean Republican, just because with that, Sherrod Brown is a Democrat running in that race. He was previously an incumbent senator for that state and has a lot of name brand awareness, and a lot of people and voters in that state already know his name. And just continuing with the whole national environment thing, Republicans have been increasingly unpopular. So it'll give a better environment for Democrats to win in Ohio. But with Ohio just being such a Republican state as of recent years, it's likely that Republicans will continue to maintain that seat. So that will go to the Republicans. And continuing with that, going into Maine, I'm going to give Maine a lean rating for the Senate race. Currently, there are two candidates for the Democratic primary, Janet Mills and there's two candidates, but Janet Mills is the incumbent governor, and the other candidate running against her is a political outsider, but he has underwent some controversy recently, and it has affected him and his performance in the polls. But as of currently, it's still unknown to who will win the Democratic primary in the state of Maine. So there's still that. And in addition to that, Susan Collins, this state was won by Kamala and Democrats previously for multiple elections. However, Susan Collins has been proved that she can win in a state like Maine, even though they continue to elect uh, or continue to vote for candidates of the Democratic Party statewide. But Susan Collins has still been winning, so I'm gonna give that a lean rating for Maine, just because she's very popular in that state. She's proven that she can win, and she's an incumbent, so she has that advantage as well. And then finally, ending off with the tilt margins, I'm gonna give North Carolina a tilt to the Democratic Party. Roy Cooper is actually the Democratic frontrunner. I don't believe there's anyone running against him in the state for the Senate race, but Roy Cooper is currently the frontrunner for the Democratic primary, and he's been proven to win. He was previously the governor and attorney general of the state. The entire state already knows who he is as a candidate and as an elected office holder, and he's been very popular and has never actually lost an election in the state of North Carolina. So considering the electoral environment of 2026 and with just how much of a electoral powerhouse that Roy Cooper is, I'm gonna give that rating as a lean for or tilt, excuse me, for North Carolina. So with that, this is currently the map as of December 12th, 2025. Obviously things can change. This is just a snapshot in time with everything that's currently going on today. But this is currently the map with 52 Republicans and 48 Democrats. So Republicans are projected to maintain Senate control. But that's as of now. There are still things that could change. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. This is my first video, so believe me, I do have some room for improvement. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm gonna try to get videos out every day for you. Thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed, and yeah, have a great day.